Let's talk about the new Nikon ZR, the natty light of red cinema cameras, when all you really wanted was a Modelo. What are you doing? You promised you'd play it cool. And you believe that? Come on, man. Do you all really want to know why I despise Nikon so much? Yeah, actually I do. Why so much disdain? It's because the mount is backwards. The focus is the wrong way. Is that why? It's the small things. You know, because if Nikon is gonna be in the cinema space now, they should recognize the #1 rule. Consistency is key. But we digress. The Nikon ZR, honestly, it is quite amazing to have the red color science in a pocket camera. That is really awesome. Yeah, but just to clarify, it's not actually true red code RAW. It's like red code RAW if it had training wheels. I believe it's called R3D-NE, Nikon Enhanced Red? Yeah, I guess enhanced means we had to drop down to 12-bit from 16-bit. Yeah, but I think they were forced to do that. Yeah, because this tiny little camera doesn't even have one single fan in it. Personally, I honestly don't care if it's a Nikon-flavored R3D. It's still a gorgeous image. Yeah, sure, it's just important to note, if anyone out there is keeping notes. Are you finished? Let's get to the main topic. What I think is the coolest thing after the enhanced R3D, the screen. Now, that is a two-sided topic, okay? But just go on, sing its praises. I'm just saying we can't exactly skim over the fact that this is already being labeled the best LCD screen that we've ever had in any mirrorless camera body to date. 1,000 nits of brightness, 4 inches, flip out. We can't forget about the Blackmagic Cinema pocket cameras, right? I mean, they had some pretty epic screens as well. I'm not sure if those were 1,000 nits, but I'm just saying, man, you know, highest resolution, apparently. So that, to me, says, hey, that's awesome. I don't need an external monitor. Yeah, I do hate using external monitors. I mean, seriously, I don't even like using the one on my Sony FX6. Yeah, and that LCD has nowhere near the specs of the ZR. You know what I think of when I hear the words red digital cinema camera? Oh, no. You promised you were gonna cut this one out. No, you shut up, okay? This is what they've come here for, right? The raw JP monologue. So what thoughts or images do you think enters my brain when I hear the words red digital cinema camera? I mean, besides Oakley sunglasses, and besides Jared Land and his obsession with coyotes at night, and besides Phil Holland and his warm little face, and besides Scott Bauckham and his very impressive production design of his YouTube studio. It's true, it's very nice. Besides David Fincher and, well, besides Transformers, and besides obscure dinosaurs and rare reptiles, and besides Michael Bay and his little pool. Why is that guy always in a pool? Always in a pool with these cameras in his hands, and they're always yellow. Oh, and let's not forget, definitely besides, you know, Ed Hardy shirts and Vanderbilt hats. Oh, and I forgot one. Definitely besides ice packs sitting on tops of cameras on set. People still talk about that. Yeah, that's right. But at the top of the pile, the #1 thing I think about when I hear the words red digital cinema camera, more than anything else, I think of the iconic exposure tools. Hands down, the #1 way to monitor raw data. Yes, I've been saying it for years. I think every camera that has the ability to shoot raw should have the traffic lights and goalposts. I mean, it is Red's genius way to monitor R3D. It goes all the way back to the Red 1. Yeah, and that camera is from 2007, by the way. Look, I'm just saying, it is like total blasphemy to not include the Red exposure tools. I mean, look, it's understandable if you can't quite figure out how to put geoscope into this tiny camera, although Sigma did somehow figure out a way to put the EL zone into the FP in a firmware update. Okay, we'll circle back around to that one. Look, all I'm saying is you can't put that red stamp on the back of the camera and then not include the traffic lights and goalposts. That is like a total shitty dickhead stepdad thing to do. Wait, what are you talking about? You've never had a stepdad. Yeah, that's because I know how to get rid of them. Look, it's pretty clear Nikon is the shitty stepdad here in this scenario, okay? He swoops in, it all starts off, he starts bringing his toothbrush every now and then. Before you know it, there's clothes in the laundry, there's boots everywhere. He is moved in like some kind of insidious disease. Meanwhile, everybody else is praising you, but the real ones know. You're fucking shit up, man. Bro, you're gonna start another war here, man. I'm just saying, you should not be allowed to put the red name on the camera if it doesn't have the iconic exposure tools. That's just what I'm saying. That's my story, that's my opinion, I'm sticking to it. I don't give a fuck who you are. One thing I will say is that this Nikon ZR definitely drop-kicked the little Sigma FP all the way into the nether realm. It sunk deep into the upside down. Yeah, exactly right. Just sayonara to that little guy. Sorry, Sigma boys. I mean, yeah, because the little ZR is definitely the best new, smallest pocket cinema camera. Yeah, I will admit that. But I will not ever overlook the heinous choice to leave the red exposure tools outside of a camera that has the ability to shoot red RAW. It is one of the reasons why it's so pleasant to shoot red in the first place. The traffic lights and the goalpost. Easiest thing to just quickly glance at. There's not a better exposure tool out there. It's even better than the EL Zone, I think, for me, because I have a hue deficiency in my eyeballs with the color blindness. Don't get me started on that shit. Horrendous choice to leave that out. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, you know, I also think excluding OpenGate was a really bad move just from a marketing perspective, but I understand that's a pretty touchy subject. What? What are you doing? Get touchy, man. That's why they're here. Yeah, people come here for this shit. We're different. We're different. Final thoughts. Audio decisions, right? 32-bit float, binaural audio. That stuff's really cool, right? It's nice to see that. Yeah, I don't know. Now what? I mean, I just think that only half the users will actually lean into that. Yeah, but it's still cool. Sure. The rolling shutter readout is only 2 milliseconds under the FX6, and remember, the FX6 is only 1 millisecond underneath the Alexa Mini LF. Yeah, so the rolling shutter performance is very good, right? It definitely smokes the Canon C50. But the exposure tools! All right already, we get it. Get on with your life, man. Look, if you can't understand this, okay, if you can't get this the way how I feel it, okay, I want you to feel things how I feel them, okay? Think of it like this. You know when there's a Harley Davidson coming down the road? Whoa, no, I gotta stop you right there, man, because last time you brought up Harley Davidson, people lost their fucking minds, man. Now you even got me cussing, right? But I remember, I mean, people were literally calling us racist just for talking about Harley Davidson? I mean, we live in a society! I think the reality was it was more like anti-Japan just because I was talking shit about Nikon within the same conversation where I was talking shit about Kawasaki. But you know, I can't help it that both these huge conglomerate companies that I happen to mention just both happen to be from the same country. I mean, I can't help all the sensitive people all the time. You just gotta be careful, man. But why? Why the fuck do I have to act like a politician all the time? Why do I have to act like all these other normal camera YouTube guys? I mean, we can be different. We can be out there, right? Camera conspiracies gets away with it. But when a really kind of wacky guy steps in, whoa, no, look out now. Whoa, boy, we gotta watch ourselves now. He actually might be a little, whoa, look out. Yeah, we all need help here. So don't exclude, man. You don't want to get in trouble for exclusion, do you? And the crazy train has landed, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, come on, man. It's been here since the 0-second mark. You do realize that you're talking to yourself here, right? And apparently, I'm the crazy one. Let's just get back on track, right? You were saying something about Harley Davidson? Yeah, I was. All I'm saying is when you hear a Harley Davidson coming down the street, you know it's a Harley without even having to see it. You know, it's a fucking chopper, man. Or think of something else, like a Porsche 911. It is a very signature sound. Yeah, it is. It's like In-N-Out without the secret sauce. You know, I don't really think a lot of people even know what In-N-Out is. God bless them. Okay, well, maybe a better analogy would be the Nike Air Jordans without the fucking air cushioning. Or here's one for you, the Rolex without the perpetual rotor. You know, the whole reason it's called a Rolex is because the second hand glides. It's nice and smooth. It's one of the ways to instantly spot if you bought a knockoff Rolex is the second hand ticks. Wait, you know about the Rolex thing? I didn't think poor people knew about that. Again, same person. These people are buying knockoff red cameras. I didn't mean to actually say that one. That one just kind of fell out. I'm gonna pick it up. Well, no, I'll leave it down there. I'll squash it. It's squashed. We can cut that part out. All I'm saying is by excluding the signature red exposure tools, you are losing the signature feeling of shooting on a red camera. Therefore, is it warranted to put the red name onto that camera? I mean, one could argue, isn't the R3D actually the signature of red? Doesn't that make a little bit more sense? And I'm the crazy one? But for exposure assist tools, which is hands down, I mean, why do you think on every Wandering DP podcast, at least a few years back, he would ask every single cinematographer how they judge exposure on set? So obviously exposure is a big thing that cinematographers and image makers care about. So, I mean, imagine if it was part of the still side, because it does have a photo still side, right? It has the photo still switch. Imagine being able to judge exposure of your photographs with traffic lights and goalposts. That would be insane. But they'd probably turn it off because maybe you can't shoot photos in Red Code RAW. But I'm just saying, right? It is the most glorious way to judge exposure. And if you don't know, then you just don't know. I can't help you people, you know? I mean, come on. I try, but I just can't help you guys. Yeah, but look, let's not forget, if Sigma can figure out how to put the EL zone into the little FP in a firmware update, then I'm pretty sure Nikon can figure something out. Right, Nikon? Okay, sure, but if you're gonna go ahead and do that, then you might as well just throw OpenGate in the mix while you're in there. You hear me, Nikon engineers? Okay, anything else, Your Highness? Well, I guess the million-dollar question will be, are we gonna buy it? Well, I mean, that's usually your call. Well, in that case, I think that question could only be best answered by the great Daniel Day-Lewis from the P.T. Anderson legendary epic 2007's There Will Be Blood.
How much are we gonna pay them?
I'm not gonna give them oil prices. I give them quail prices.
Well, that about does it. Good job, buddy. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Good idea. All right. I'll see you whenever I see you. Hey, maybe slide another pancake under the door? Maybe one of those strawberry Pop-Tarts if it'll fit again?
Nope, just eat another wrap.
Camera purgatory. Go easy on them, guys. It's been a little bit of a rough week.